And a good Thursday morning, everyone. Well, we're looking at a real fine day the rest of the day, Thursday, but clouds will start to overtake the region, especially tonight. And by tomorrow morning, we're looking at some issues developing across northern and western areas primarily. Right now, you're looking at the European on the left. We have the regional Canadian model on the right, and using this for depiction, a little bit of rain showers will try to creep into parts of southern Vermont. It looks like they get missed based on the latest European. This is the 06Z model. This is also the 06Z Canadian regional model. So what ends up happening is we see the precipitation primarily kind of whisk on through mainly southern parts of New England. It stays mainly dry up until this is valid about 2 o'clock in the morning, and this is where things start to get interesting. We'll have a cold front, an Arctic front, that will be basically along about this line here, and this is going to advance south very slowly. So the combination of this front being very, very shallow and having warm air aloft, that's going to produce raindrops. Raindrops will fall into sub-freezing air temperatures and ground, but it'll be shallow enough that it'll fall as freezing rain. And this is what's indicated. This is a valid 1 o'clock in the morning tonight, Thursday night, early Friday morning. And then you can see what ends up happening. It affects the Champlain Valley and even further south all the way into northwestern Rutland. And it cuts across and penetrates into the far northern tier regions, generally north of Washington County, catching some of Orleans and Essex County. This is valid by 10Z. That would be at about 5 o'clock in the morning. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, 15Z. Still doing its thing, and what ends up happening is this frontal boundary pushes south and east, and eventually tails off as a little bit of snow. Snow we can handle, freezing rain we can't. So the most freezing rain is really going to be roughly northwestern Rutland County, north into the Champlain Valley. And again, many of these valleys here, generally in the northern tier regions, a lot of the rivers that drain north, this is the area where you could see some freezing rain along the northern tier into the Northeast Kingdom. European model on the left, the European model about 6 hours earlier on the right-hand side, just to see how things are changing. We're looking at freezing rain now, and so this is valid at 8 o'clock. This would be 08Z, so freezing rain is starting to move in after midnight tonight, and you can see it. It's into the Champlain Valley and along the northern tier. So we'll cover that and watch it accrue. This is valid at 10 o'clock on Friday morning. You can see there's a definite line here that's holding up pretty well. And then by 19Z, 20Z, 21Z, that's going to be, of course, 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. The freezing rain event for us is over with. Meanwhile, we'll start to see some rain showers that will have turned to probably snow showers and mixed with sleet and so on and so forth. And where the atmosphere is just thick enough, that is the cold air, the shallow cold air is just thick enough, we're going to see sleet. And that's going to be placed just a little bit north of where the freezing rain falls. So indeed, we have that across the northern tier, and then eventually that does work with the frontal system as conditions then get colder aloft, and we're going to be producing some sleet and some wet snow. This is valid again at 21Z Friday, so that's going to be about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But you can see this swath of sleet. Now let's check snow. And using the 06Z European model, so here comes the snow. It's going to be north of where the sleet line is, and the sleet line is north of where the freezing rain is. So that's how it's going to work out. This is mostly north of the border region. This is valid at 09Z, so that's 09Z, that's 4 o'clock in the morning, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, 11, 12. This would be 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. Note that the main area of snowfall, where the air mass is cold and thickest, that's where your snow is going to fall. But this eventually will start to spread south and east, but not very much. So much less of a coating expected on the western side of the state and a little bit into north central Vermont. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.